Artificial intelligence. It's changing everything. But behind the buzz, real innovation is happening in places you might not expect, like the food industry. In this episode of Quality Lines, I'm talking with Kirt Lillywhite about how AI driven vision systems are transforming the factory floor by spotting defects, improving quality, and predicting problems before they happen. This is the future of food quality, and it's closer than you think. Hello, and welcome to the Quality Lines. Joining me today is Kirt Lillywhite. We're going to be talking about the future of AI-based inspection in the food industry. How you doing, Kirt?
Good. How are you, Winston?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Good.
Let's start with the basics here. Can you tell me what is AI?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It doesn't seem like it might be a great question, but I think today that word just really has lost a lot of meaning. One of the problems is that that term was coined in 1950s by John McCarthy. And, so it can refer to things like your washing machine and the cycles it goes through all the way to ChatGPT and everything in between. So it really is a word that's kind of lost its meaning, and you see it in marketing. It's a buzzword. And so really, I like to hear things other than AI. When people are talking about their products, I want to know what other algorithms they're using, what they're doing. And AI almost is meaningless.
Yeah, it's really a term that I think if people were mentioning 3 years ago, like you'd be like, whoa, cool, right? And now it's really gotten to the point where it's like, oh man, like buzz off, like it's everywhere now. It's wild.
Yeah, that's true.
So what do you think some of the challenges are in AI, and how do you think that KPM is addressing those challenges?
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes we get in our mind, oh, AI can do all these things and it's powerful, and that's really is true. But it's not really at the level where you kind of hand it a task and it just figures everything out from there, right? I think we're still at a place where for any given application, it's a lot of work and a lot of time to put into it to really make sure that it works well for that application. And I think, one of the moats for KPM, if you will, is really just our willingness to put in the time to make these models work for our customers. And because we've had experience with it, we've made a model that will work. We know where we can get to, and so we know what bar we're trying to reach. I think some, they pull down these tools because these tools are available to anybody. A lot of these open source tools, but they're trying to make something work, and it just doesn't work the way they think that it should or want, and they don't quite get to that place where it works. And I think there's a lot of things also in understanding how the algorithms themselves kind of work. You have to kind of think like an AI when you're labeling data and doing that, and so it's kind of part science, part art as you're kind of putting these things together.
So let's pretend it's 2035. How do you think that AI is solving problems for food processors?
Yeah. So we really kind of had this moment with ChatGPT that was interesting where, for quite a while, machines didn't really understand English, right? Written word. You could do some things. I took an NLP, a natural language processing class in college, and, you could do some cute things, but it wasn't really much. It's not very impressive. We had deep learning come out and we are able to understand images, and really we could actually do a lot more with images than we could with text as far as AI goes. And so, but with these really huge models with ChatGPT, all of a sudden we saw some emergent behavior come out of these large language models where all of a sudden it understood the text, right? And so even these very subtle, phrases and things like that, ChatGPT is picking up on. And so it really understands the language. And so it really enables another level of sophistication in the AI. And so I think that our images are going to kind of have a similar experience where we're good with them and we could do a lot with them. But you have to do a lot of work to help them understand. And so once we get a lot more images into it, a lot more of this, we'll get a better understanding of what's in the image. And we'll be able to combine, these models will be multimodal. So being able to combine the text and the images audio, if you will, whatever you want, and be able to get some understanding from. And so it'll just enable things to move faster and faster, I think, in the food industry, where now these models are faster to deploy in the field.
That sounds super cool. I can't
Yeah.
wait. And I suspect, like right now, I find one of the challenges that I have is I'm not sure what the AI is capable of. So whenever I'm writing a prompt, I'm kind of holding back a little bit because I just I don't want to get too complex because I feel like I'll be typing for nothing, right? But I suspect that should improve in the future as well, right? As the AI improves and humans' abilities to interact with AI improve as well, right? Like I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, and I still discover things. You know, the other day I was interacting with Grok, and it wrote code to answer my question, and I didn't think it would do that because it didn't seem like I didn't ask about code, but it wrote code to answer my question. You know, and so I was like,
cool.
"Well, that's cool." You know,
and you didn't have to say "show your work."
No, I did look over it. It did look right.
So, how long do you think it'll be until? So every AI tool I've used so far, after you submit a prompt or while you're submitting a prompt, there's usually a piece of text that says, "Hey, like these results are could be inaccurate. You should validate them." Right? How long do you think until we're getting rid of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it will go away eventually. I think it's more about people trusting it and seeing what they get out of it. I find with some of the things I do, a verifier, a separate AI that goes out and verifies the text. So sometimes the evaluation of a response is easier than generating the actual response, which is very helpful. So I think between the models improving and also these systems improving, where there are some checks and stuff in place, people will start to trust it. So I don't see it a couple years from now. I don't think we'll see those anymore.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So we're still in 2035.
Yeah.
What are the robots doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's super interesting because there's just some cool stuff happening right now, right? We see Elon Musk with his robots. We see a lot of Chinese robots. What's going to happen with those? And that's a big deal for our food processors, right? What are the factories going to look like? But what not all people will understand is there's really already a lot of robotics in these food factories, right? A lot of automation is already happening. These robots just don't look like the ones that we have, that we envision, the humanoid robots that are walking around,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think they will have a role in the factory for sure. But I think it might be a little bit more limited than we might think right now because, that robot or a person can only pick up so many things at a time, right? And so you almost need this specialized hardware for processing things in volume, in bulk. And so I think we'll still see the same kind of robotics in these factories that we see today, but maybe they're easier to set up. Maybe some of these things that we're doing with these robots will kind of transfer over, right? Like it'd be nice to be able to show, they talk about showing the robot a YouTube video. Now you know how to fold the laundry, right? Because you watched a YouTube video. Can I show the robot in the factory a video and it has a new ability? And that would be kind of cool.
That would be flipping cool. Yeah. Okay. I look forward to that. I hope you're right. All right. Well, so we're going to go into the rapid fire round. You ready, Kirt?
I'm ready.
All right. Buckle up. All right. So what excites you more? AI algorithms getting smarter or cameras getting better?
Oh, definitely the AI. I'm definitely into the artificial intelligence. Cameras to me are kind of boring and necessary, but yeah, I'll go for AI.
Makes sense. It's an AI episode.
Yeah.
So, we're going back to 2035. In one word, what does the food factory of 2035 look like?
Automated. That's kind of cheating, but I think it's true.
Oh, at least you didn't say artificial.
Okay, there you go. Intelligent.
Perfect. All right. If you could ban one buzzword about AI, what would it be?
Just the word AI itself. Going back to where we started, let's
Yeah.
just talk about what it really is.
I hear you. I feel like I'm this close to scanning my incoming email for just contains AI and then sending that to a separate folder.
There you go.
All right. What's one everyday product that most people maybe don't realize already relies on AI vision?
Yeah, I think these doorbells are kind of amazing to me. You know, you buy a doorbell for 100, $200. I don't know what they are these days. Probably get them cheaper too. And they do a lot of really cool AI. You know, like I know my package arrived. I know that somebody's there. I know, you know, you could train to say, you know, family members recognize them and things like that. So I think that's super cool, and it's a great use of AI.
Yeah, that is super cool. Nice. What's your favorite season?
I like spring. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't usually get spring for very long in Utah. I don't know about where you're at, so it gets hot too fast.
No, I hear you. That's a good problem to have where I'm from. So, so if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I would go with Indian.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Lots of range there. I love it. And what excites you the most right now?
All the applications we could do with AI, they're still hard, but we just enabled like so many different things, and every day there's something new, both on the vision and the large language model front. That it's just fun. I like following AI and X just because there's always something interesting, something new, and it's just so much fun. And so I play a lot at home with just different little things I'm playing with, and it's just fun.
Oh, very cool. Well, Kirt, thank you very much for having a little chat today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Winston.
Once again, everybody, thank you for listening. There will be some things in the show notes about what Kirt talked about. If you're looking for a little bit more information. Once again, I'm Winston Anderson, and whether you're inspecting, testing, or just digesting, thank you for joining me on the Quality Lines. Farewell.